As filmmakers and creators, we sometimes find ourselves with a really good project on our hands that gets a lot of attraction, captures a lot of attention, and makes us feel really good about the thing that we did, which is great. But that doesn't mean that you stop moving forward. That doesn't mean that you don't seek after the next big thing to happen. Okay, this product was good. Let's see what I can implement different now. Okay, this product got a lot of love. Let's see if I could try something different and if it has the same effect on people. No matter what you decide to do, whether that's filmmaking, whether that's sports, whether that's making music, it don't matter what you got going on. But if you see yourself eating and allow other people to see you eating, that's cool. But if you're not hungry for the next meal and the next opportunity, bro, you gon' get passed up. And you gotta keep working like your life depends on it. And for some of you, it really does. Like, you have no other option. You got no relative that you could go to help you make your dreams come true. You got no friends to help you make your dreams come true. So if anything, sometimes they depended on you. You got to make it happen. Not just for them, but for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you let yourself down, that's probably the worst feeling a creator can really feel. Letting yourself down. Not meeting the goal that you set out and not striving for that goal with all your heart. This teaches you lessons. But this just let you know that you let yourself down because you didn't put everything that you had into achieving that goal. It could be the simplest things ever, yo. It can be the most basic thing ever, but if you don't put your all into making that little thing happen, you won't be able to make those big dreams happen. I analyzed some patterns that I noticed about myself, and I was like, dang, I'm really not as hungry as I used to be before I got to this point. So I had to dig back deep and like, you know what? Nah, I can't just stop here because if I stop here, then what? You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be satisfied with what I made right here. Nah. And I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not telling anybody to be greedy, but you gotta go hard for the things that you believe in, yo. Cause ain't nobody gonna make it happen besides you. In this video, I want to share with you guys a few things I have been implementing into my daily habits to help me stay hungry as a creator, as a filmmaker, and as a person. First thing is knowing that you gotta fight. Nothing is gonna be handed to you. You can't be complacent in the work or the field that you choose to be in. You gotta keep working. You gotta keep getting better. I know multiple times I say the same thing, but it's literally true. It's you're not gonna improve trying to, one, look at what other people doing. Two, being complacent. Three, being lazy. Four, not even trying as hard as you know you should be trying. Nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to give you a handout. They're not waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to go up to them and like, yo, this is me. And I deserve this because I'm the best that you see. So if you don't give me the opportunity, I'm going to either make my own or somebody else going to give me an opportunity and you going to wish that you gave me that chance that I was telling you should have gave me. You got to fight for what you want. And if you don't, you'll never know whether you was going to get it or not. This next one, I really have to lock in and hone in on this one. Even if you achieve a goal, that does not mean you stop being hungry. You got to remain hungry. You got to keep your eye focused on the prize. A goal, that's perfect. You made a goal. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. Make sure you celebrate your wins. But don't fall into that trap of like, oh, I could sit back and no, you cannot. You cannot sit back and relax. It is not time for that. Yes, show yourself love. Yes, be appreciative of the hurdles that you have to jump through to get to that goal. But you can't dwell in that win for that long. You know why? Because somebody else, they did that goal. They don't even care about that goal. They run past it. You know what I'm saying? They're still hungry for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. They're still running. You got to have that same mindset. You got to keep running. You can't be satisfied with one thing that you did right. Somebody does something good. Okay, now what? You always got to have like, okay, what's next in the back of your head. Even while you're pursuing that goal, okay, after I do this, because I know I'm going to do this, because I'm putting these things in place for me to actually complete this goal. But after that goal is completed, what's next? You always got to be, You gotta be sharp, man. You really gotta be sharp. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta be persistent. You can't take no or failure for an answer, because if you do, you don't really want it. Your attitude and your work ethic will show how bad you want what you say you want. And if you want it, you gotta go get it. Like I said, you gotta fight for it. Nobody gonna hand you anything in this life. Never stop chasing. Never stop seeking. Stay hungry. But this third one, some of us, it was ingrained into us since we were young, or we were just born with it, you know? Some people was born with it. Some people, they had to learn that lifestyle for themselves. Either way it go, you must hustle like your life depends on it. And I don't mean hustle like doing little things here and there. Nah, we getting past these little things, yo. Like, these little things are cool, they're great. We gotta aim bigger. Even with those little things, you gotta make sure they add up, like, to building blocks. You know what I'm saying? Those steps, they gotta be leaps when you look back. You can't just keep doing these little things. Like, you can't stay in your little safe box. Your safe box, that's not gonna do nothing but hold you back. It's like you pulling yourself down, you know what I'm saying? If you keep staying in that comfort zone, if you keep doing what's comfortable, what's familiar, you gotta step out of that zone, yo. I know it's gonna be uncomfortable for some of us, but you gotta embrace that uncomfortableness. You gotta be uncomfortable to get comfortable. You gotta step in territories that are new. You gotta do something that you never tried before. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. Hustle like your life depends on it. Because for some of you, your future depends on it. Like I said before, sometimes you don't have that family to go back to rely on, to help you get your things in order. Nah, you gotta do it yourself. Some of us, we literally gotta do it ourselves. Whether you gotta do it yourself or whether you don't, you should wanna hustle like your life depends on it. Because that's you pouring passion into yourself. Yeah, people could pour passion into you, but that doesn't mean nothing if you're not pouring passion into yourself. If you pouring passion and love into yourself, in your product, and your creations, people gonna see that. They gonna be like, oh, this person, this young lady, they really know what they got going on. Because I could see that passion when they talk about it. I could see the passion when they think about it. You see the passion radiating off of a person. You gotta hustle. Hustle day in, day out. That leads me to my fourth and final thing for this video before I conclude it. You gotta be willing to have late nights and early mornings. Cause it's a routine that you gotta create for yourself. It's habits that you gotta establish. It's habits that you gotta break. Sometimes that requires you staying up all night trying to practice the song. Sometimes that requires you to get up in the morning and run for an hour. It really depended on you, but you gotta write that list of routine things that you need to do every day to get to the goals that you're trying to achieve. You gotta write those things down. Don't just keep it in your head, because it's easy to think of something, forget it the next moment. You gotta write it down. That way you can hold yourself accountable because you wrote it down. And another thing about writing things down, I don't know if y'all remember this, like in middle school or whatever, but you remember things more when you write them down. If you don't write your ideas and your goals out, they just might blow away in the wind. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta write them joints down in pen, on a piece of paper, hang it up on your wall, put it in your phone, notes, do something. You gotta write that down. Write them down, get them out. That way you can read it when it's time to apply them. And you hold yourself accountable that way, yo. All right, well, that's really all I got to say for this video. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. And hopefully I could help somebody get through whatever funk they in, because I know I be in my own funk, and I be needing to hear and see things that pull me out of that joint. That concludes this video. Stay hungry, never give in, never give up, and keep seeking.